Most Canadians today have no idea that the dish sitting at number 6 on this list was on nearly every kitchen table from Vancouver to Halifax, every single week for an entire decade. We're uncovering 10 dinners that Canadian families cooked on repeat throughout the 1950s. Meals shaped by post-war practicality, regional pride, and immigrant traditions that quietly changed the way an entire country ate. Some of these have vanished completely. Others never left. Stay until the end, because the last dish is the one every Canadian grandmother made, and almost nobody under 40 has ever actually eaten. 1. Tourtière. If one dish defines the Canadian dinner table, it is tourtière. This meat pie, packed with ground pork seasoned with cinnamon, cloves, and allspice, has been a Quebec kitchen staple for centuries. But in the 1950s, it spread well beyond French Canada. Families baked it in large batches and froze extras for the week ahead. Ground pork was cheap. Every ingredient was either pantry stored or locally grown, and the result fed a family with ease. But tourtière was never just practical. For French-Canadian households navigating an increasingly English-dominated culture, putting this pie on the table was a quiet act of identity. 2. Pea soup with salt pork. Soup au pois, yellow split peas, salt-cured pork, onions and celery, hours on the stove. Soup au pois was the dish that powered Canadian winters, cheap, filling, and almost impossible to ruin. The salt pork gave it a depth that no stock cube ever matched. The peas broke down slowly into a golden, thick broth that sat somewhere between soup and stew. In rural Quebec and the Maritimes, families who raised their own pigs had salt pork in the cellar all winter long. You started this pot in the morning and ate by evening. It wasn't cooking, it was routine. 3. Cod tongues with scrunchions. This one surprises most Canadians who didn't grow up in Newfoundland. Cod tongues, the small muscle found beneath a cod's jaw, were a weekly staple in Newfoundland homes throughout the 1950s. Coated in flour, pan-fried in rendered salt pork fat, and finished with the crispy pork bits left behind in the pan. Those are the scrunchions. The result was briny, crisp outside and tender through the center. In 1950s Newfoundland, cod wasn't just food, it was the entire economy. Nothing from the catch went to waste, and children from fishing families often cut and sold cod tongues themselves to earn a few extra cents. 4. Roast chicken with bread stuffing. Every decade has its Sunday centerpiece. In 1950s Canada, it was the roasted chicken, not turkey, that was Christmas, not beef, that was expensive. Chicken was the weekly treat that still felt like an occasion. The stuffing inside was stale white bread, butter, chicken stock, dried sage, and thyme. Every household with its own version, passed down without ever being written down. But here is what made the roast chicken truly important. It fed a family for 3 days. The meat on Sunday, the leftovers in sandwiches on Monday, the carcass boiled into stock that became soup by Tuesday. In post-war Canada, nothing was wasted. 5. Cabbage rolls, haluptsi. By the 1950s, Ukrainian Canadians had been farming the prairies of Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta for over 50 years. They had built entire communities from the ground up, and they had brought their food with them. Haluptsi are cabbage rolls, blanched cabbage leaves wrapped around seasoned ground beef and rice, packed tightly into a baking dish, covered in tomato sauce and baked low and slow for 2 hours. Ukrainian Canadian families made them 40 at a time. They froze perfectly, reheated beautifully, and tasted even better the next day. For prairie families in the middle of a February that seemed to have no end, pulling a pan of cabbage rolls from the freezer was genuine relief. 6. Creamed chipped beef on toast. This is the one. The dish that defined the post-war Canadian weeknight dinner, and that almost no one under 60 has eaten since. dried salt-cured beef sliced paper-thin, stirred into a white sauce of butter, flour, and milk, served over white toast. 15 minutes start to finish, no skill required. It was everywhere for two reasons. Dried beef was cheap and lasted indefinitely on the shelf, and white sauce was a technique every home cook of that generation learned in school. The flavor was mild, creamy, and deeply salty. After a full day at a factory or managing a household with 3 kids and no dishwasher, that was exactly what dinner needed to be. 7. Baked beans with brown bread. Quebec had its version. Nova Scotia had its version. New Brunswick had its version, and every family believed theirs was the only correct one. The method was always the same. Dried navy beans soaked overnight, then baked for 6 to 8 hours in a low oven with salt pork, molasses, mustard, and brown sugar. The molasses was the Canadian signature, dark, complex, sweet, cutting right through the salt of the pork. Saturday night baked beans with steamed brown bread was a ritual across English Canada. Many families still made them from scratch, long after canned beans were available, not because it was faster, because it was better. 8. Fricot, Acadian chicken stew. In the Acadian communities of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island, fricot was the dinner that defined the week. At its core, it was chicken simmered with potatoes and onions until the broth turned rich and golden. But the ingredient that made it Acadian, the one that made it unmistakable, was summer savory, an herb sitting somewhere between thyme and oregano, slightly peppery and floral, and the defining flavor of Acadian cooking. Without summer savory, fricot is just chicken soup. With it, it becomes something you associate immediately with a specific people and a specific place. 9. Liver and onions with mashed potatoes. No dish on this list will produce a stronger reaction from modern viewers, and no dish better captures what 1950s Canadian cooking was actually about. Beef liver soaked in milk to tame its sharpness, dredged in flour and fried quickly in butter. Onions cooked separately until golden and soft. Mashed potatoes underneath everything. Pan drippings poured over as a sauce. Doctors actively recommended liver for growing children. It was exceptionally high in iron, B vitamins, and protein at a time when supplements didn't exist. And it was one of the cheapest cuts at any Canadian butcher. For working-class families on a tight budget, liver wasn't a sacrifice. It was the sensible choice. 10. Butter tarts. We finish not with a main course, but with the one food that is more distinctly and undeniably Canadian than anything else on this list. Butter tarts, small pastry shells filled with butter, sugar, eggs, and syrup, baked until the filling is firm at the edges and gloriously runny at the center. Sticky, rich, deeply Canadian. The debate over raisins versus no raisins has been ongoing since at least the early 1900s and shows no sign of resolution. In the 1950s, butter tarts appeared at Sunday dinners, church bake sales, school lunches, and every gathering where food was present. Unlike everything else on this list, butter tarts never disappeared. They never needed a comeback. They were simply always there, made by grandmother, passed to mother, passed to daughter, in the same tins, in the same oven, tasting exactly the same. These 10 dishes are more than forgotten recipes. They are evidence of a country that fed itself through resourcefulness, regional identity, and cultures layered on top of each other. French, British, Ukrainian, Acadian, Newfoundland, all of it landing on the same dinner table. That is what Canadian cuisine actually is.